All right, good morning, traders. Welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We're going to go through the order flow using Bookmap as forward-looking analysis. Do this all the time. And we do it because we can. It's not hindsight. Reading the order flow, one of the benefits is being able to understand the participants in the market. And when we can understand their behavior, we can look for price movement in specific directions and be very objective about that. General disclosure, all Bookmap Ltd materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. One more thing for those of you in our Discord channel. If you're interested in coming over to our Discord channel, we have all sorts of events and we offer all sorts of freebies as well. Right now, there's 2 freebies that we're offering. Oh, actually 3. Market Pulse, footprint charts, and anchored VWAP. So if you are interested in this, and you're currently using Bookmap, or if you're new to Bookmap and you're interested in some of these products, well, then you might want to subscribe for a month and check it out and get access to some of these products that are in beta programs at the moment, but you can get access to them. So you'll just come over to Discord and to unlock some of this, you'll need to take a screenshot here, use the QR code to sign up, and you want to have a marriage between your Discord account and your Bookmap email that you use to log in with the license key, your Bookmap license key. This way we know exactly who we're giving it to, and we can get a good feedback. There's all sorts of reasons we want this. It will create a much better community. Those that just kind of jump into Discord a lot of times don't provide the best community or content. So we want to support our community at a higher level, and this should help. All right, let's jump in and let's go through what we see here in the order flow. All right, so interesting day. And you can see the CPI data here. I'm not going to go through the numbers. We're just going to go through the reaction, because the numbers are actually pretty good. But this makes sense. I don't know what Powell's going to do about the interest rates in the future. The economy is hot. So the market is telling us basically they think that it is overbought, and maybe all of that pricing in of lowering rates around summertime. Well, this is not looking good for it, right? Because if the CPI data is good, well, then it's more likely that he will raise interest rates. Okay, so what we know is there's sellers. They're moving the market. They move the market lower. And let's go over the bigger picture, though. Okay, we have a lot of stuff to take a look at here. So then we're going to look at a candlestick chart just for the bigger picture. Over here we have the daily, the hourly in the middle, and the 15-minute on the right. Okay, so looking at the daily, I'm getting the most, maybe the most out of these 2 charts, the hourly and the daily, but the daily is probably the most. Look at this huge range here. Okay, now this is due to the CPI data. You can see it here in the gap on the hourly or in the 15-minute chart as well. So here's the big gap. That's going to be this big red bar. And now compare that bar to all these other days in here. Okay, it's already pretty much over or larger than all of these other days in here. Okay, so how much more selling power is there out there? Well, we don't really know. However, we do know when we compare it to all of this in here, it's already a bit over it. So if that is the case, then, well, maybe we need to pull back a bit before we can find more sellers engage for another move lower. Okay, it's the same with the buyers on the way up. Okay, you see these big green candles in here. and then look, followed by other green candles in here, but a lot smaller. Okay? So this is just understanding ranges, and we're going to look at the order flow within these ranges. Maybe we'll come down a little bit lower. Let's look at the hourly here. Now, we already filled a small gap in here, yeah, almost immediately at the open. Anyway, yeah, that is filled. And then now, maybe we'll come back down into the bottom of maybe we've got a little more power left to go here, down to about 49.55 or so. Yeah, but there's going to be, some areas in here, kind of a high volume node that led to this move to the upside here in this gap in here. So we're just kind of testing that area now. All right, so now we're going to look at the order flow and get an understanding of, are we anticipating those buyers to come in? If so, where might they go? Well, the first thing to do would be to test back up to the high here of this cash open, 49.81. Now, again, note that we're below the figure, 5 grand up here. Maybe later in the day, we'd be looking for a retest back up there. Right, so yeah, we'll take a look here. I really would love to see it come down to this swing around this 55 area. All right, not much to look at on the 15-minute chart. All right, now let's take a look at the order flow here. There's our strong move down, and continues to sell off, we see a bit of buying coming back in, especially right here at the cash open. You see this big sell dot here, but we see the move goes higher, and then now we're seeing it kind of dribble down. All right, so now we're still in a downtrend here. We're trading into high liquidity on the bid on the way down. Okay, let's take a look at the market structure. Okay, so we're still in a trend, right? So we're still looking for sellers here until we see something different. Right, so looking for sellers down here, looking for them to trade into 62. Liquidity down here, that's where the buyers are. All right, let's zoom in a little closer and take a look at this. Would be great to see that, because see this buying in here. Well, if it's new buying, then they're going to be, there should be a nice stop run to the downside into this 62 here. Okay, so here come the sellers here. Now, let's be careful here, but we're still looking for sellers to push it here, okay, into 62. Okay, maybe then some as well. Maybe we can get down to 59, etc. 57 down here. Okay, not much selling, as you guys can see. So don't know yet if we might revisit this. We see some buying coming back in here. Okay, now did these buyers in here, did they break any structure? No, they didn't. Okay, so now even looking more for it here, if we get our sellers here though, we have to get our sellers here. And you can see this little double bottom in here. That's exactly what we didn't get. We got buyers down here. Okay, well, still haven't really broken this structure yet. Even this smaller time frame structure right here at 66, where my cursor is, this white line going across here. Okay, so still looking. We're not out of the woods yet. But let's all right, looking for our sellers right here around this 64 3/4. No, nothing. One shot at it. Come on, sellers right here. Nope, not yet. All right, sellers, there you go. Now let's see the move here. Let's see if we can get this selling power in here. No. All right, that would have been a small scratch for me. But and I'm still looking at it. Now we broke this smaller structure in here, but let's see if we come back into the middle of the range here. Okay, looking for sellers below here again. All right, sellers, yep, got it. Let's see them move it now. You've got it. You've got all of these buyers in here on the defense. And nope. All right. So again, that would be another small loss in here for me. I'm looking for them to push it in here. That was my plan, and we're not getting it. Okay, now again, these are not trade recommendations, as we mentioned in the very beginning. This is an order flow reading room. We will go over trade management on previous trades. We just don't want to have a trading room in here, a shadowing room. Everyone just looks right at P&L and that's it. We don't want to do that. We want to go over reading the order flow very objectively in here. And the more objective we are, the more likely the outcome. Okay, still, let's see here. We did trade up to this swing here. We can see that it failed, and we're back in the range here yet again. Good morning, Rob. Yep, Stephen, Alois, good morning, everybody. Okay, we've broken this trend structure. We haven't really we tested here. We broke it, but it traded back into the range here. So let's see if we get our sellers one more time in here. Okay, right here at 65. And hit it, sellers. Let's see it. Let's see the flush through into this liquidity here. All right, there's some exhaustion on the buy side. There's our sellers. Okay, so sellers should be able to hit this. This is their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts here. There we go. Okay, now looking for them to keep pushing it though. Now we traded into this high liquidity here at 64. I'm looking for them to continue though, down into 62 or so, and maybe we can really get some momentum here. Okay, now the reason that we're looking for momentum in here is because of all of this buying in here. We're looking for a big stop run here. There's a small pullback already. Okay, still looking for sellers to come in right at this 64 level again, and then to move it into 62. Okay, so low volume pullback, and sellers are in control, moving this market now. Okay, now one of the things that we covered in the very beginning of the webinar in here is this average daily range in here. Okay, so we can actually call it the daily range, not true range. How much are we looking for out of this? Not a whole lot, right? Like I'd love to see it come down to about this 55 level here. Okay, so that's what I'd be looking for. There's going to be a high volume node in here that we'll have to kind of push through. We're probably hitting it right around now, around this 62 area here. There's our move into 62. Okay, so now still looking for sellers here. Okay, we're hitting high liquidity, but we're still looking for some selling. Let's look at our 55 level, 56, somewhere around in here, and there's not much liquidity down there. They're here at 60 and also 57. Okay, hit it, sellers. There they go into 62, and still looking for more. All right, so you know, something I wanted to cover in here. Now that took us, like, you know, this is all theoretical, okay, but we're doing it in real time, and we have the advantage here of you know, it hurts to take a small loss in some of these, and you know, on these two attempts in here, but that protected our risk. Right, and then we're still looking for it, and we had some exhaustion in here, we had some buying in here, not enough. They can't make a higher high in here. This is a good thing to look for here, okay, in the here and the now, to go along with the bigger trend here. Okay, so that would be right in here. You see some buying in here, they can't make a higher high. You see a tiny bit more buying in here, they cannot make a higher high. Look for the sellers to come in, and at that point, look for them to move it. Okay, so you know, we were looking in here a few times, and they hit it one more time up here. The buyers took it one more time higher, and then the sellers came back in. All right, and I would have been stopped out at break even on the rest of this, guys. You know, after taking some profit into probably 62. I would think probably right around this big red dot, or somewhere around in here. Hold on a minute. So anyway, so I didn't get much out of that, right? But and I just wanted, this is really important. We're going to go more and more this direction in here, about trade management. So, you know, we're looking at the order flow, looking for the move to unfold. Took a few, you know, small losses in here, got our winner, and took some profit, and then held for a bigger move. Okay, the rest of it would have held for a bigger move. Okay, so how would our account look like at the end of this here? We'd probably be at like probably a small loss, maybe around break even. Okay, let's just be honest about this, and this is why trade management is so important, because we're holding for a runner here, and holding for that runner we would have been stopped out at break even. All right, so we would have had on leg one, we would have had a nice little gain, but we had two small losses in here for full contract. Let's say it was 2 legs that we're looking for, so that's 4 contracts stopped out for a loss. 1 winner, 1 stopped out at break even. Okay, now the winner was bigger, and it should help recuperate some of those losses, and we'd probably be around break even, maybe at a small loss. All right, so but we gave it a chance to run. Now, there's different ways to approach this in here. Number one is maybe the approach should have been different. And consider this with your trade management in here, because this is a big red candle. We're not really looking for too much. I'm still kind of looking for that 55 down here. That would be great, but it didn't do it. All right, so we are looking for buyers to come in, and we're buying, or I'm sorry, we're selling pretty close to the bottom edge here after a huge move. So we're not looking for a whole lot. All right, so anyway, if that is the case, then we can consider maybe getting all out. All right, take the profit and run, because we're not looking for a big move here. All right, now you can see the reaction here, and look at the order flow now. We traded into high liquidity down here, and well, they're not really on the bid here, but we do see the transactions here. The buyers are coming in. Right, now where are they going to go? Okay, we've already come back up above these swings. Look for the next one up here. Okay, 72. Let's zoom out a little bit more. 72 looks good, and we're almost there. But we can come up to the next one up here, 77. And the high liquidity is up here around 79. All right, so anyway, this is considerations with your trade management, reading the order flow in here. All right, so now if you got all out here on this one, you would have made up for those two losses. And then some. You would have had a small gain, right? And you gave it a shot, and look for the next setup. Right, so some considerations in here on that trade management, depending on your kind of viewpoint or outlook for the day. Okay, because really after this big move here, we're looking for some buyers to come back and move it back into the range. It's just been a really, really strong move, and we're going to look for order flow like this, trading into this liquidity here, and these transactions in here, moving that market higher and starting to break structure. Okay, so we're looking now for potential pullbacks, and then more buyers to come back in. Okay, so we got a little bit of pullback in here, not much, and we'll see how many buyers are interested up at these levels here. And now they're on the bid here. And we're looking for our buyers up here. And they're pulling here. Great. All right. So let's see it, buyers. Then let's see a move higher up into. Let's take a measurement of this as well. 67 on up to 71, like 4 points or so. So 71 to about 75 looks pretty good. All right. So let's see a bit more here. There we go. Now buyers should be able to move it. Okay, so there's now, again, not a trade recommendation, but this would be the setup. We would have been in here someplace. We're looking for the move, and went against us a little bit, but we're still looking for it to unfold. Our stop would be, somewhere around here, this high liquidity at 70, and our take profit would be up here around 74.5 or so. We like to front run that high liquidity up there. All right, let me get back to some of the questions in here. Sorry, guys, I kind of went rambling there, and no questions, or I did not look at them. I'm sorry about that. The new VWAP thing, London Ale. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, we'll go over it. Slow down. Welcome back. Nice to see you. All right, so there's our that would be our partial profit taken, or however you want to do it. I mean, yeah, I think I'd take a partial on that, and still looking for more here. This is a pretty strong move in here, and it's going against what people are thinking. Right, so we can look for this to come up to a higher swing here. Maybe definitely looking for taking some off up here at 76. Just around that swing here. Okay, this is a nice strong move here. Okay, and yeah, there's going to be pullbacks and things, but we're going to go with this run here. Now, Rob, this is we had talked about, and I want to go over this again and again and again with you, Rob. It's not just you. I just think it's really, really good idea to mention again and again, right? How we gain an edge out of this in here. Okay, this is a little bit different than we covered yesterday, but we're looking at all of this behavior in here to give us insight to this move here. Good morning, Kenji. How do I feel about the ATR versus IV? I don't know. I mean, like, um, I just look at the kind of expectancies here, you know, expectations, and I try to set them. Um, and you know, just looking at ranges in some of these bars, it's so simple. All right, guys. Now this hit our area here. Okay. Now this is a pretty nice capture. Okay. I would take some off there. Right. It's still strong. It's still strong. And maybe it will continue to grind higher the rest of the day. Who knows? Okay, but we're protecting ourselves and taking some risk off. All right. Okay, so now, what about the risk taken off at, what was it, 71, or was it, no, it's 70? We're looking, yeah, in here, and then our 74 level in here. Well, when we got up here, yeah, you can take some off. It's fine. Or you can take all out. It's fine. One of the things, though, that if you see the behavior in here not really telling you too much, that, you know, you should be taking some profit, that this was a strong move. The bid is still strong, relatively strong here, and they're pulling on the offer. And we're still seeing big green dots here. Okay, so you can hold those for a bit longer. And it's up to you. Really, your risk management, if you know, you want to get all out, that's fine. Then come back and restudy this. And if this is something that you want to hold for your reasons, then that's great. Okay, because we can see that there's still buying pressure in here. We know there's going to be pullbacks, but we know there's buying pressure in here. Okay, so we're still looking for this to go higher. This 80 liquidity looks fantastic. How does that relate to this up here? Well, it's right here where the sellers move the market lower. Okay, so not a bad area to test, or maybe even above the swing up here. Okay, there's going to be a lot of people that are leaving their stops up in these areas here. And look at that buying momentum here. Okay, now we went through this whole process. We were selling the bottom edge, looking for a bit of a push, and then we saw this momentum come in, and we didn't get the initial move. Okay, but then we got it here, right around the 71. The bid was strong. We're looking for the move higher, and so we got in right around in here, right? And we captured this move here, okay? And potentially still capturing it too. Okay, 80, 81. You know, we can go up a lot further. We can go up half the distance of this. We may even go all the way that you know, distance of it in here. Now, what I wanted to cover in here was how we covered yesterday. What we look for in here, and this is what I was trying to get to, Rob, is understanding this order flow and behavior behind us, okay, that has already unfolded, and then starting to come up with a thesis or an idea in here for our setup in the order flow. All right, so we had no reason to think that buyers were ready to come in. Okay, so we got kind of caught up in it right in here where there were some buyers starting to come in. But we're still looking for sellers to push the bottom edge, and they did. All right, and then we saw the buyers come in, and we kind of waited for our area and looked for the push higher. Okay, so this all of this selling in here, it can get upended. Now, what we have is an ATR or ADR in looking at the you know, all of the large moves here. okay, on this bar. So we're just looking for maybe a bit lower here. We didn't get it. Now we're coming back up to the swing high of the cash session here, okay, which is at 82 or so, right? I'm looking for the buyers to break it. Okay? There's going to be a lot of people getting really hurt on the way up here, and they're going to become buyers up here. Okay, let's go back to that. What was this level here? Is it 90? Yeah, 90. Okay, so we can come up to 90 as well. A lot of liquidity up at 90 as well, right by this little swing up here. Okay, so now look at the behavior in here now. We traded to that liquidity at 80, and look at the selling coming in. Okay, pretty heavy. Okay, sellers are now ready to reload. Okay, they are selling. So now how many do we have? Well, quite a few. Quite a few. So at this point here, maybe it's kind of a hard one to say. We're looking for kind of back and forth in here. But if you want to protect your profit and you're fine with this move up to around in this area in here, then maybe it's time to exit. Okay. Now, what do we have in here to give us that insight? Well, heavy selling. Okay. How does the bid look? The bid there's still a bid on the bid here. Okay. So now, do we get enough buyers though? We're getting a few. So yeah, looking for that back and forth. Maybe a move up to 79 or 80 again. Maybe. Okay. So anyway, it's a nice move. Capture some gains. So let's go through this process one more time in here. What did we have to look for buyers after this huge move to the downside? We had, first off, our bigger, higher time frame structure. We had our range move in the daily bar. Okay, so we weren't looking for much on that sell side, even though we got a few small losses in here and then a winner. All right, so and then we got another winner somewhere around in here on the way back up. All right, so again, guys, please do not. This is not for trading. This is about going over and understanding how to look for an advantage in order flow, and then to play that advantage and understand maybe how to exit and manage the trade as well, because it is equally as important or maybe even more important than the setup itself. Okay, it's really know how to manage it. All right, so let's go through the setup again here. Okay, so we have this move down after data, and we're looking at our range bar on the daily, and we know it's overextended. So then we're looking for our buyers to start to come in. Well, first we were moving for it to continue on down. Then we saw the buyers come in, and now we're like, okay, looks like the buyers are telling us. They are telling us that this bar is overextended, and there's a lot of sellers in here that are going to get stopped out. So you can see the buying hand over fist in here. And we're looking for that move back up at that point. Does that make sense, Rob? Yeah, the liquidity on the bid, Stephen. The bid is just so important, and they're still bidding up underneath here. Look at this. Okay, but you can see, look how everything kind of, fizzled here up at that 80 level. Okay, strong buying, hand over fist on up to 80, and now we see, some sellers starting to come back in. All right, guys. Well, anyway, this kind of setup this is more of a reversal pattern with the buyers coming in, and we have some criteria behind it. I would suggest you go through and use your setups checklist here and input the proper criteria for this. Okay, so let's go through it here. We'll add it in. Okay, we'll go to settings, and this is free for everybody. And then we'll go through this criteria in here, and then have a potential setup in here. All right. So this setup is exactly what. Let me show you where I'm coming from on this. Is from our education here on bookmap.com, strategies and setups here. And we have a flag pattern, continuation pattern in here. And we go through what to look for in a diagram, then how to look for it in Bookmap on the chart, and we overlay the pattern, and then also a checklist. Okay, as you can see, we have it partially here, but we go through multiple criteria in here, and this will help you. This will help you make much better trading decisions. You know exactly what you're looking for, and you're looking for it in the behavior in these areas here to justify this move here to the upside. All right, so use this tool. We have this tool for exactly this. All right, we can a quick way to do it is just come in here and modify and then save it. Okay, so it is a CVS file, and we can just come in here and modify these inputs. So we're looking at ATR. Oops. Over extended on higher time frame. Okay, and then we're looking for the strong bid. Okay, then we're looking for a strong move by buyers. Okay, strong volume. And then we're looking for potential targets. Entry would be on, we'd be looking for a bit of a pullback and buyers to come back in. Okay. A small pullback. And then we're looking for entry. Buyers come back in. Okay, and then take profit. This puts stop loss below the swing. Take profit, front run, high liquidity, and market structure. Okay, and the rest we can get rid of. Save it. We're going to save as, and I'll just save it as, we'll just call it ATR strategy. Okay. It'll save it in your Bookmap folder there. There we go. Done. And then let's add it back in here. Port. And I'll go to my file. Hold on a minute. Sorry, guys. Hold on, let me find it here. Sorry about this. Yeah, it's under here. It's under setups and checklist. Okay, and I believe okay, now I can't find it. Should be here. Yeah, let me since we went through that whole process in here, let's sorry about this. We will let me find it here. Because once we get this, once we find it and we get it down here, it's very simple. Yeah, that's where it should be. Port add-ons. Setups checklist. And ATR should be in. Oh, I didn't maybe save it as a CSV. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah. Hold on a minute. Let's open this again. Save as. That's what it was. Sorry about that. CSV. There it is. Add it in. And there we go. All right. So this is our setup. We can grade it. We can go through. Do we have the criteria? ATR on the higher time frame, we surely had that. That was like a 10 basically. Well, a 9, let's say, because we were looking for a little bit lower. A strong bid. Yeah, well, we had the strong bid. It transacted. It was strong underneath here, up at 70 as well. We had a strong bid, looking good. Strong volume. We certainly had that, 8 or 9 on that. Small pullback. Yep, we also had a small pullback in that area as we zoomed in. Right here, very small pullback. We had a strong bid underneath it as well. Okay, so enter when buyers come back in. We did. Okay, so a good entry on that. Stop loss below the swing. Yep, and then take profit with the higher time frame and structure. Okay, average came out to an 8 in here. Well, small pullback was also good. So you know, 8.5 or so that justifies a trade. There you go. There's a trade strategy, and now we went through trade management. It can be as simple as this. Now, this is a starting point. Go back and look for this again, right? And maybe this is helpful for you, guys. We can share these with you as well, and we can put them into the Bookmap Academy. Let me show you that if you guys are interested in that. Under the Bookmap Academy, if you go to bookmap.com, okay, and you want to go through a lot of these ideas in here. Well, you can mark up your charts, join the Bookmap Academy, and we'll give you feedback on them. All right, so you can also get Bookmap for free. You get a community in here. We want to elevate your trading. We're going to give you feedback, coaching, and mentoring on your content. Okay, so if you want to take advantage of that, it's free. You will need Bookmap, but just sign up for Bookmap, and you should be good to go. All right, let's see. Any other questions in here? Let's see. Okay, thanks, Stephen. Yep. Yeah, you get a dome. There's two different domes we have. We have Dome Pro. We also have, this is looking good up here again for this continuation in here. There's a few things missing though that I don't like, so I would kind of pass on it. I really want to see a strong bid underneath here for this to continue, and there's not, right? So, you know, but we do have volume trading up here, as you guys can see. Okay, in fact, look at the offer coming in here. So we're going to read this and get some understanding. See if we do find enough buyers interested trading into. There we go. So we did find some buying interest. Now, do we see a strong bid? Yep. You can get in right here, trade it right up to here, take some off, and then look for continuation. Stop at break even, and then you just would have been stopped out. Okay, that's a quick move, right? But the concepts are the same in here. Right, that we had our reasons. We found a bit of a bid underneath. We had high liquidity in here. We found buyers. We're looking for those buyers to at least retest the swing up here. Okay, they did. Okay, we took some off. We'd move it to stop to break even. Now this is scalping at a pretty decent level, and you took some off and you didn't have a loser, and you're out. You look for the next setup. Right now, bigger picture here, is this going to turn into a flag pattern in here? It's looking pretty good. We have strong move, right? It traded up into high liquidity in here. We're still finding buyers though. Okay, now the question is, do we have a strong bid underneath? No, not really, right? So we're waiting and watching for this in here. And now if we get that strong bid and the reaction is buyers, yeah, we're looking for it, right? We're looking for the move, not only to the top of the range, but a continuation. Okay, let's take a look here. Is this it? Okay, that's enough buying. Okay, what about the bid? Yeah, I don't think it's quite ready yet. Like we can see sellers may, very quickly drive it back down into these levels here. Okay, so we want something high probability. All right, let's see if we can get them back up here at 80. You know what, guys, I have to call it kind of early today. I'm sorry, I have something important to get to, but I do want to cover one thing important in here, and that is the well, we went over a footprint yesterday at length. I want to go over the anchored VWAP in here. So this was also requested in the room, so we can go through that. Oh, you guys are cracking me up in here. So buy, sell, or hold. Help me out, Bruce. No, yikes. So I just want to go through things in the order flow in here that can provide an edge. What we find again and again is by leaning on and understanding this behavior that we can look for a continuation in the move, or we can look for it to reverse. Okay, and we have a higher likelihood of that unfolding. And that will help, I think, people stay with the trade. Okay, and this gives us kind of clarity in here that we want to understand. And then that clarity is what's going to give us that edge. Okay, now that's a starting point. It's a starting point for going back and looking at and studying. Is this something that works for me? Is it something that you relate to first off? Do you comprehend it? Are you intrigued? Are you intrigued to study it? If so, then this might be something to look into. Now come up with several examples. You can use an ATR type of strategy for all sorts of stuff. I mean, even on these small days, like if you look at well, small ranges in here. Now, again, these are time bars, and not the biggest fan, but it is we can look for within a specific time how much might be move of a certain range in here, and start to understand it or get expectations for pullbacks or continuation. And we can do the same in here in Bookmap. We've done it a million times in here, just by using a simple line, starting to understand, like, how big are these pullbacks in here, right? Or how big are these moves, and then you can justify this here, like, look at that, look at these moves in here. Now this move in here is this is over it here. It went over that move. Why? Well, look at the volume behind it, right? So we can look for a more extended move there. And then now we're looking for our continuation move here, right? On up into 90 here, right? So let's zoom back in here. Okay. So now look at this. We have a bid. We have buyers. Yeah, let's see them break it. Let's see them break it on up now to 84, 87. Now let's also put together a move in here. Where might it go? Well, this looks kind of good. Just kind of shooting from the hip here, but if we take this and kind of extend it back up and match it with 87 liquidity up here, okay, well, maybe even 84 liquidity here. And now, if you're looking for getting involved in there, you can look for taking some off here at 84, or if you get a stronger bid in here and you see strong buying and they're pulling up here, maybe you want to hold and look for 87 instead, and taking some off up there. Anyway, lots of considerations in here. Alois, Chance is just giving me a hard time. Yeah, it's it's cracking me up, but and embarrassing me a little bit. But yeah, thanks, Chance. Anyway, guys, just trying to come up with some ideas in here to help you stay with the trade and gain some sort of edge, or at least learn how to maybe build an edge and then how to manage it, right? And you got a cohesive plan then, right? And it takes a while to build a trading plan. It's not as easy as all of these examples in here. You need to really believe in that plan. You have to see many examples of that plan, and you know how to manage it, and you know what it looks like. A good example of this is JTrader. He'll be on tomorrow. You can come to the webinar with JTrader, and he looks at very specific data that he's studied for years, and he just trades that plan again and again and again. Now he's trading small caps as well. He knows exactly what he's looking for, and he'll just get involved in the trade, and he'll take. I love how the guy takes losses. He doesn't let it bother him. He just moves on to the next trade. That's it. And it was his setup, is what he's looking for, and he'll just take it and look for the next one, and he'll manage it. All right, so let's see in here. What did we see in here? We had a bit of a bid, and some of that buying starting to come in. Well, we didn't get it, right? We didn't have such a, maybe we need a stronger bid in here. You can see them pulling now, right? So we need to see it, maybe really that buying step up in these areas in here. Okay, now let's see. Look at the sellers hitting into the swing here. Okay, well, what does it look like in here? Where are we going to get an edge? Okay, same ideas though. If we can get back up above here on some pretty strong buying, and we see a bid chasing up after it, okay, and them getting filled on the bid on the way up, we can look for that move. I would, at this point here, I don't know if I believe in it as much. I would take it. I would take maybe some profit up here at the swing around 82. Okay, but I need to see these buyers come in, and I need to look at a strong bid in here. And we're not getting it. Let's take a look at this information back here. Right. So now let's look at this move in here on the sell side. Okay, that's pretty extended now, back down into these areas here. Okay, so now we can, if we get a stronger bid down here and we start to see some buyers, we can look for a pullback. And let's see now. So maybe a little bit lower here, this liquidity. Okay, would love to see a big stop run here. And it's a little bit of back and forth. Okay, there we go. All right, so that just transacted. And now let's see what the bid looks like after this, and let's see if we get our buyers coming back in. Okay, now how much are we looking for in here? This is a strong move on the sell side. Well, not much, right, to begin with. It just maybe up to the 77 level here. All right, there's our buyers. All right, buyers, let's see if you can move it here. It's not enough. It's a bit of selling. No, not enough. Not enough buying yet. Okay, a little bit better, but still need to see more up here. And the offer's starting to come in a bit too. So yeah, we're not ready for it. The move isn't ready yet. Okay, there's still more selling. They're more likely to press it down into 73 here. 74, I should say. All right, there we go. There's our bid. See the bid start to come in like this. Okay, now one more. We didn't really break the structure yet. There we go. Now we're starting to break it. It's not much of a move, I'm telling you. That's what you're trying to kind of catch this bottom edge down here, and then we're just looking for a pullback in here, backed up to about this 77.5 or so, and there it is. But anyway, so that's a little tricky move in there to look for, and it's a bit of a it's a small scalp. It's the concept though that I think can bring some value in here for you guys. Okay, so just looking for this ATR kind of strategy in here of looking for this specific move and then looking at order flow in here to justify, in this case, a pullback move and a pullback only. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to call it a day. I want to quickly go over the VWAP, and then we'll wrap it up here. The anchored VWAP, we went over it yesterday. It's a very simple tool to understand and how to utilize it in here. Is it? We add it. Okay. All right, and we're going to get rid of all the VWAPs to begin with. We're going to create a new line, and let's show it here. All right, so now we've got a VWAP. Actually, you know what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of them all, and we're just going to right click in here. Okay, because you can, this is how most people are using this tool anyway. We can look at maybe the swing down here. We can look at many different areas in here for VWAP. You know, where those buyers started to come in. And we're looking for, you know, larger players that, and some of these moves in here and where they're going to support it. Okay, so, you know, up here as well, you know, we can put in an anchored VWAP and just right click, create anchored VWAP. Okay. And it just takes a minute here. All right, so there's our VWAP. We can add another one. We're going to right click down here, add another VWAP. Okay, now it's anchored where I clicked, right? Right here, right up here, and right here. Now let's go into our anchored VWAP, and the first one that we clicked here, you can see you can put in the time that you want. You can have your volatility bands in here or standard deviation bands, and this is our second one. So you can see it here, and then let's give it a different color. We'll give that one yellow, right? And then our first one from CPI data release is up here. We'll keep it white, but we'll put our bands on as well. And you can put in your custom bands as well if you want to put in 3, 2.5, whatever it is that you like. And now it can very quickly come into many bands in here, so be careful about that. But look at the crossover here, right? So we have that higher time frame from based off of the event, and VWAP here, it traded above it and came back, retested off of it. And then we also have a smaller VWAP here from this move here, and it just bounced off of it as well. Okay, so now, remember we were looking for our pullback, right? Okay, well, this turned into a bigger move now, and we're just looking for the pullback, but this is turning into a bigger move. Now, maybe if you're a VWAP trader, this is what you like, then maybe you'd consider taking some off up here. We have a few ideas for taking that off, not just 2 standard deviations in here, but it's the swing. Now, what about liquidity? What do we have in liquidity? Well, it's pretty free and open here. So maybe we don't want to take some off up here. Maybe we're looking for, if we get more buyers up in here, we look for the next level, which would be maybe up here around 86. Okay, and we have another band up there. Guys, just be careful with some of these bands. Like this can drive you crazy, and you're not looking at the order flow at this point. This should be a tool to match with the order flow. Okay, it shouldn't be a signal in itself. Anyway, it's in beta. If you guys are interested, you can come to our Discord channel and put the or add into the beta group. You Bookmap Academy guys, I believe, yeah, you'll need to sign up too. We want to get you in there automatically though. Not sure, Dan, if they have been added automatically or not. This is another reason, guys, why it's good to sign up and have your email and license key along with your Discord. We can generate lists and give you access immediately to these things instead of requesting it. It makes life much easier for everybody. Yeah, slow down. You're looking at a bigger flag pattern in here. Yeah, this is great. Great stuff. Let me actually add these to a browser. Let's take a look. Okay, so yeah, you got your, here's your criteria in your setup. Here's your image of the setup, what you're looking for, and then here it is in Bookmap. Beautiful. Look at this high liquidity up here, traded up through it. Okay, this is your impulse move 1. Here's your pullback, and then you're looking for impulse move 2. Okay, so beautiful stuff. Look at the volume in here. Look at the liquidity. This is right in line with what we have here on the in the Bookmap Learning Center here under strategies and setups here. It's right in line with this, guys. So let's see what else you got here. Okay, so yeah, now we're getting a bit of a pullback here. This was your continuation move, and your take profit was up here, and willing to exit here. Okay, very nice, very nice. Large volume, cautionary warning in here, and yeah. Also, guys, look at this. Really nice content. He's got his numbers here that mark the reference the criteria here. Okay, so he knows exactly what he's looking for, and if he gets it, you know, he's got a setup in here. All right. In fact, let's end on that, guys. Thank you for that slowdown. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And yeah, we're starting to see a bit of liquidity coming in on the offer now, up in these areas here. But yeah, let's see. I want to see these buyers trade up into it here and see if they can. Right. So that was the setup. Again, a setup down here we're looking for, and just a pullback, but that has turned into something more now. Okay. So in fact, you can see a small reversal pattern in here and change in the order flow. Let me show you what I mean. Selling here, buying here. Look at the divergence, or there's going to be divergence, but look at the bars here, right? Selling here, buying here. Okay, this was, we're right there looking at it. Okay. Anyway, all right. Thanks for coming, everybody, and we'll catch up on Friday when we'll see you then. Okay. Yep. Take care.